a little bit different. Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new episode of Sewing Machine Adventures. Yeah! And in the last episode I struggled quite a bit, but all down is just bare body. I struggled quite a lot actually. Oh, there's a hole too. So today I thought I would try a more basic sewing technique or basic approach to sewing and just try something a little more simple. I feel like
a small white plastic bag.
I'm getting too ahead of myself. I'm trying to make like fancy t-shirts and stuff and I'm not qualified. So today I'm going to attempt to make a tote bag and I'm feeling like I might attempt to line the tote bag.
Here we go.
Dependent on how I get on making the actual bag. And to show you how seriously I'm taking this sewing series, look at this, look what I've bought. A bag for, right there, all my sewing supplies. How cool is that? I'm so organised. And then also, I bought a bag for my sewing machine. How nice is that? It's bees. And I just thought that was really cute. And I feel like I'm taking things more seriously now, even though I'm still not very good at it. Okay, so I think we'll start by cutting the parts that I need to make this bag. And I've already skipped a step.
Oh, thank God!
I've already made the patterns. Yes, I feel like I'm getting better. I feel like what I'm starting to learn about sewing is preparation is really important. I like to just kind of dive straight into something and just do it. Whereas with sewing, I feel like you need to kind of just take your time. Just like chill, measure things, and be accurate with stuff. So I've got all the parts that I need to actually make a bag. I've got one side, another side, a base, and a strap. And I think that's all you need for a bag. And I'm going to be using this fabric. I think this is quite nice, isn't it? And it feels almost like plasticky. It's like a printed treated cotton, but it's got like a waterproof kind of effect on it. It's quite nice actually, and it's very rigid. It's very strong and a little bit stretchy. Actually, that's a lie. No, it's not. It's not stretchy at all. What am I talking about? Oh, there's a tiny bit that way, but there's none that way. And then I also bought this fabric, which is a very similar kind of feeling. It's very plasticky. And I'm thinking this could be nice for like the straps and the lining of the bag. I know it clashes a lot, but I think it'll look quite fun. Okay, so I think my first step is to cut all the bits I need. Am I going to have enough fabric? I think I am. Right, we'll start with this side first. So if that's going to be kind of the side of the bag, I'm going to need 2 of these. And also, if you notice with my pattern, I've added a seam allowance because people said seam allowance was really important, and it is. It's very, very important. Because I've seen videos online of people like cutting patterns and stuff, and they just kind of like, I don't know, attach their pattern to the fabric. Is that attached? That's attached, isn't it? And then I can just kind of cut it out that way. I have been watching a couple of tutorials on like sewing and stuff, but I'll be completely honest with you, I find them really boring. Like, I have a very weird way of learning. I feel like I'm much more of like a hands-on kind of person. And watching like super serious tutorials on YouTube, I was bored shitless. I couldn't take any of it in. It felt like I was back at school.
You pissworm!
I think that's why I end up like skipping over stuff, because I literally lose interest. And I think as long as you find a way that works for you, then that's the most important part. I don't feel like I should be operating heavy duty machinery today, to be fair, because I'm very tired. I know I complain I'm tired a lot, but I am. But there's a good reason. So I did a load of extra shifts at work last week, and also I had surgery last week. Yes, I had surgery on my nose. My little nose testicle got removed. If you subscribe to us on YouTube, you might have seen my little community post of me in my very, very sexy hospital gown. And thank you very much to everyone who obviously wished me well and all of that kind of stuff. It went perfectly fine. I just got it done under local. There was absolutely no way I was getting general anaesthetic for it. I hate general anaesthetic. So I was awake through the entire thing, and yes, I felt like the needles go into my nose and stuff, but it wasn't actually too bad. It wasn't that painful. There was one point during the surgery where the little nose testicle had been chopped off, and I felt like all the blood kind of drip out my nose and around my neck and the back of my neck. I could tell it was bleeding quite a lot. So they got the cauterizing thing out and burnt the inside of my nose, which by the way, I smell delicious. But then the cauterizing clearly wasn't working like they wanted it to, because they did 2 rounds of it and it wouldn't stop the bleeding, so they ended up having to put some stitches in my nose. And to be fair, literally just yesterday I trimmed the stitches because they were irritating the life out of us. They were hanging out my nose. And I was just like, no, this isn't happening. Don't know whether I'm allowed to do that. In fact, I know I shouldn't have done that, but I couldn't resist. But at least it's all gone now, and then that'll get sent off to pathology, and hopefully it's nothing too serious, which I don't think it is. But yes, I'm a little bit tired. I did lots of extra shifts, I had surgery. So if this bag doesn't turn out the way I want it to, we can blame that. Okay, surprisingly, pinning, I used to think I was really bad at it, and I'm not great at it, but I feel like I've pinned this and it's actually worked. I'm quite surprised. Look at that. That's pinned all along the side. Right, I'm gonna speed through. I'm gonna cut all my panels out for all the bits that I need, and then we can figure out what I'm supposed to be doing, because otherwise I'll be here all day. I know I will. Okay, I finally cut my patterns out. I swear down, doing the whole kind of measuring, cutting the panels out and stuff, I feel like that takes the longest. I feel like out of sewing an entire thing, that's the longest part. The actual sewing, it's easy breezy. It really is, it's so quick. It's taken me almost an hour to do. But if you're wondering what I've done, I've got 4 strips, and these are going to be straps for the bag, and they're going to be kind of overlaid and lined with the same fabric, if that makes sense.
No.
We've got a base of a bag, which is going to be that, and that's going to be the lining. This is... what is this? This is one side of the bag, and there's this is 2 sides of the bag, and there are 4 bits of this fabric and 4 bits of that fabric. Are there 4 bits of that fabric? No, there aren't, I'm lying. There's 2 bits of each fabric, so there's 4 in total. So lining and actual outside of bag. And then the same again for the larger side. And I was wondering how to do this, and whether I needed to sew the base first to the sides, or whether to sew the sides and then the base last. And I feel like sewing the base last would make more sense, but also I have no idea if that's right. So I think I'm going to do the sides first and see how we get on. This is going to be a bit confusing, but I'm going to figure it out. I feel like it takes a lot of thinking to actually sew something. You try to figure out what's inside out, what's right way up, what's right way down, and whether that bit actually connects to that bit, and it just gets very confusing. So I only need one of them, and I need one of them. That's going to be the outside of the bag, so I'm not going to turn it inside out, I'm going to turn it inside out. That needs to be that way, and that does need to be that way, because that's the lining. Hang on, just wait. I need to think.
Okay, everyone shut up!
But how is that going to go on the outside? That's on the other way around. Bear with us 1 second. My brain's trying to do something.
Makes a change.
Do I need to sew them separately? I feel like I need to sew the lining separately to the actual bag. Yeah, they can't be sewn together because that's not going to make sense. I'm going to have to make the lining and the bag and then attach them afterwards, because if I attach them together and turn it inside out, the lining's going to be on the outside, and that's not going to make sense. Let's just start with the bag. I'm not going to piss around with the lining for now. I want one of them sides, and I need one of these sides. See, it just confuses you. It really does. And I know I was talking about how good it is to pin stuff and everything, but I still don't feel confident pinning. I much prefer my clips. The thing is, I was like, oh yeah, I need to go back to basics and just make a bag. Even making a bag is hard. I just find you have to think about it a lot. I assume people who sew a lot don't need to think and just kind of do, but I feel like I need to really think, because otherwise I'll make a mistake. I know I will. I feel like I just get a little bit confused turning 2D things like flat bits of fabric into a 3D object. For some reason, I can't envision it. I don't know why, my brain just doesn't work that way. Like, there's this person on TikTok, and I know I can't stand TikTok, but he's Irish, and he makes some like really cool things. He's like a proper mint sewer. I don't know his name. And he makes things look ridiculously easy. He just like whips things out and they look absolutely fantastic. And there's just a level of confidence I don't quite have yet. Right, that's gonna be a bag. I think it's gonna be a bag. I'm not gonna lie, this fabric it's not easy to sew. Well, it is sewn, but it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't feel good to sew. Actually, it's not too bad. I think it's because I was being a bit too hesitant and going too slow. You just have to like, just go full throttle. Let me just check my work. Okay, yes. Oh, it's wonky. It's so wonky. I can already tell, just visually, it is wonky. What's happened there? Oh, this is where like something weird happened. I don't know what that is. I'll cut that off. Okay. I feel this might be a bag. I was feeling a lot more confident at the pattern part of things, and now that I've sewn this fabric, which is not a nice fabric to sew, I'm feeling less confident. But this next side is going to be good because I'm prepared. I'm mentally prepared for this now. Okay, that was a much more confident little bit of sewn from me, so well done. Let's see if it's looking okay. I see that's looking so much better. Looking way better than the other side. The other side's so wonky. I don't know what I've done to that. I've sewn it wrong. Whatever. I'm not re-sewing it. Maybe it's when I add the extra bit to the other side, it'll all come together. But a bag can't be that hard. I don't know whether I'm going to get round to this lining. I'm just going to tell you that right now, because I've struggled just making the actual bag. And does a bag need to be lined? Like, who's going to see the inside of your bag apart from you? And this kind of bag, it's only going to be like a bag that you go and get apples. You know, you're going to put your apples in at the supermarket. It's not going to be like a fancy bag. It's just going to be that like scratchy everyday bag that you have in your car. That's what kind of bag this is going to be. It's not going to be your fancy go out bag, or even your everyday, you have your wallet in kind of bag. It's just going to be that bag in the back of your car that you forget about and that you sometimes take to Tesco with you for your apples. So what kind of bag I'm making, it's very specific. Okay, another bit done. Right, so that's all our sides of our bag. And they're all a little bit different, but I feel like, you can't really tell actually. They all look a little bit wonky, but I feel like it's not going to be too noticeable as a bag. As an apple bag, you're not going to know. Now I'm wondering, should I connect these together and then add the base on? Or shall I add the base on and then connect the side? I feel like I should connect this together and then put the base on. I don't know. What shall I do? Why am I asking me? I don't know what I'm doing. No, it needs to be the sides. The sides need to sew together first. For me, it does anyway. Right, so I'll clip this side together and then sew this. And then technically we should have like the tube of a bag. I'm still wondering whether to actually do a lining, you know. I don't know, what do we think? See, it's a shame this video isn't like a live video, because then I could like ask the audience and be like, help, what shall I do? Whereas I'm in a room by myself with very questionable decisions. It'd be nice for a little bit of guidance. Imagine if I did a live video of me sewing though. It would be hours and hours long.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Right, back to sewing. Okay, we should have a tube of a bag now. If we don't, then I don't know what I've done wrong. Oh my god. Ooh. Oh, this is a big bag. I didn't realise I'd made it this big. I didn't mean to. This is going to be our bag. So like, oh my god, look how many apples you'd be able to get in that. Obviously it's inside out, but look at that. That's like a beach bag. Oh. I'm making a beach bag now. Didn't mean to make a beach bag, and I was aiming for like a cute little apple tote, but now it's going to be a bag you want to take to the beach with you. Alright, that's great. See, ideas, they just evolve and develop as you sew. You might have thought you were going to sew a t-shirt and then, oh, a pair of trousers pops out. That's what happens when I sew anyway. Right, and now I need to figure out how to put this base on, which I'm hoping is the right size and everything's correct. I just don't understand how I'm supposed to even get this on though. Maybe it's just take it a little bit at a time. I think this is going to be a cool looking bag actually. I know I've been like stressing out about it and stuff, but I think it's going to look quite nice. I know, I'm having faith in myself again. I don't know where this is all coming from. I must have had like a second wind. Oh my god, I feel like it's turning into a bag. Oh, it lines up quite nice this side. I'm surprised. I think this is going to be a bag, you know. I really do. I think attaching the base at the very end was the right thing to do. If I'd done it the other way, it would have gone wrong. Right, and the final bit of my bag, and then we can turn it inside out and see if it actually looks right. I'll be absolutely mortified if I flip this inside out once I've done this bit and it's not right at all, because I don't know where I've gone wrong. There's only one side I sewed really bad. All the others I feel like I've done okay with. Right, let's see what this is looking like. Oh, I think it's gonna look like a bag, everyone. Oh my god, it does. That's a bag, isn't it? I've totally made like a bag. It's not finished yet. I need to do the hem and the straps, but I've done a really good job with that. Oh, I'm surprised because I didn't feel confident at all as I was doing it. I kind of want to do the lining now, but I feel like if I do the lining, what time is it? Because I feel like I've been sewing for hours. I might have lunch and have a break. Will it make sense if we don't have the lining? I might do the lining. It would just mean I would have to make that entire bag again. Do I mind? I did a really good job. Bear with us. I'm going to have my lunch, and if I do make the lining, I might make the lining off camera, and we'll come back in a second and we'll see what I've actually decided. And if we look here, we've got our outer bag, and then ta-da! I did do a lining because I couldn't resist, but now I need to sew the inside of this, which to be fair, I feel like this should have, based on the fabric and how crunchy it is, this should have been the outside of the bag, and this should have been the lining because this is more like squidgy and soft. I don't mind the pattern on this one, but I want this one. I'm just gonna stuff it in, try and get everything to line up. You know what, I'm just thinking as we go, wouldn't it be nice, and I don't know whether I'm being a bit too ambitious here,
Here we go.
but wouldn't it be nice if like we did like a little fold down moment and that was kind of along the top of it, just to bring kind of the inside out and to bring the straps together. I think that would be nice. Do I know how to do that? I don't know. Right, okay. To get kind of the inside out, how am I going to do this? Line that up and then do we fold twice? Once, twice. Yeah, and then that looks nice and neat. Right, clip that. I just hope my needle will actually go through all this fabric. Okay, let's see what that's looking like. I feel like I was very rough with that stitching, I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be like sewn and it's gonna be well sewn together, but it's just not gonna look particularly neat and nice. You know what, even though it's not sewn that well, it's not bad, it's very close to being okay. And now, don't look at them bits, they don't match up. Look at that, now it's got like a nice little trim. Oh my god, it's got trim.
Come on, my tits.
I've done trim. I'm absolutely boiling as well, it's so hot today. It makes a change to being freezing. But now when I get my sewing machine out and I need to concentrate, I'm all sweaty and hot. All sexy and gross.
Come on, my tits.
Right, so now I think I just need to attach some handles, and then I think I've got a proper nice beach bag. I've got my handles here, I'll get these sewn together, and then I'll attach them to the bag, and then hopefully we can finally have a bag. It's taken me all day, this has been an entire day of sewing. I'm shattered.
I'm exhausted.
But one day I'll be a famous seamstress and everyone will be wearing my gowns, my beautiful gowns on the red carpet.
Great gowns, beautiful gowns.
Okay, I've finally finished with my bag, and honestly, like, I can't believe how well this has turned out. I'm glad I finally got a zoom lens just for this. Well, I didn't get it just for this, I needed a zoom lens, but you're gonna see my bag in all its glory. Look at that. Oh my god, it's like proper hobo chic. Oh my god, so stylish. This isn't an apple bag. This is definitely not like a bag just for your apples. This is a bag for like all your belongings. It feels proper well made and like hearty. You know that bag that's been with you for like years and years, and it's like, it's a bit beat up, but it's still hanging on. It feels like that. It feels like I'm gonna go either to the beach, I'm gonna go hitchhiking, or I'm gonna go for a sleepover at someone's house. That's the kind of bag. I do have to confess, I feel like I've added the handles on wrong, because I feel like they should have gone like loop and loop, but mine go the length way, which it doesn't really make sense, does it? If you know what I mean. They should have gone that way, but I didn't have a bag for reference, so I thought this is what handles did, but it still works. And then like someone goes, oh, can I have a sweet out your bag? I'm like, yeah, of course. Oh, it's lined. It's a bloody lined bag. Can it be reversible? Oh my god, I didn't even think of that. Have I made a reversible bag? So if you didn't want the kind of jazzy colours, just my usual blue bag, I've made a fully reversible lined bag.
Shag me.
This is more than I thought I was going to make, and I've accidentally made more than I was planning on making. This is by far my favourite thing I've ever made in my entire life. This is my new grocery shopping bag. Actually no, it's worth more than groceries. Well, actually groceries, they're really expensive at the minute, so it's completely worth it, because only rich people can afford groceries, and I've got a rich person's bag now. Oh, Gucci who? Oh yeah. And you know what, my stitching, look, they're like proper neat, and I know it doesn't match up the pattern, but just shut up, just ignore that. And look how close I was at getting that bit lined up, and I didn't even mean to, that was accidental. And the handles don't look too bad on there. If you look at the handles, I did the whole inside out thing, which was really hard to do. If you went to a shop and saw that bag, you wouldn't even think someone had made that. You'd think a machine had made it. Maybe this is what I've invented. I've invented a hobo bag. It's trademark, don't go stealing it. Hobo bag's mine. Hobo bag, reversible chic. Love it. That just about does it for today's episode. I think I've made up for it from last time when I tried to make a t-shirt and it went really bad. This time has been a full-on success. So I think that 100%, it doesn't even deserve one thumbs up, it deserves like multiple thumbs. Oh, it's about time. I was starting to lose hope that I was never going to get good at sewing, and I know I'm not great or anything yet, but the bag has filled me with confidence. I was really good at making that bag. I'm now looking at the bag that my sewing machine goes into and that I bought online, and obviously that looks a lot better than the one I have made, but mine looks really nice and I made it. I think when you make something, it just instantly, it hits different, doesn't it? It just feels more special. But anyway, I'm gonna go away before like I want to have sex with my bag or something. Like I feel very passionate about it. But I'll see you next week for a brand new video, and if you have any suggestions for the next episode of Sewing Machine Adventures, let me know what I should make in the next one. I'm feeling very what shall I make? Shall I make a jacket? Shall I make a hat? Just gonna give you one last look at my bag. Oh my god, yes. Oh, I want to go to the beach just because I've got a bag. bag. I want to go to a beach, fill my bag with stuff, and just shove it in everyone's face.